TNC, Original African Stories. Listener discretion is advised as this podcast may contain violence or strong language. Previously on My Name is A-Zed.
Taxi!
Good evening, ma.
Yes, Badore.
After Aja at 8 p.m. from Yaba, we can go.
Guy, bring 4 gala for me.
4? Sir, ẹjọ́ sir, mi ò ṣe kankan, passenger ni mo gbé wá sir, ẹjọ́. Orí olè are.
Fine boy. Sorry again about those men, eh? So just take this one. Go and find something to eat somewhere. We'll soon be out. Do you understand?
10,000 naira. Yeah. I quickly folded the money and put it into the smaller inner pockets of my jeans. I didn't even know I could get that much in it. I took another good look at my surroundings, and I still couldn't believe I was out that late in Victoria Island. I thought twice about looking for food. It would be wise to save all the money Kassy gave me. But then again, what if I hadn't made it? 1 meal won't kill me, especially as I have more than enough for Dr. Okeke's textbook now, and still enough to send to Mama, and yet still enough to fuel my cab, and also survive on through the coming week. Now wow, 10,000 naira. I wonder what owning $1 million would feel like. I locked my door and began to sojourn the street corners of Adeyemo Alakija late into the night, maybe early morning, looking for something to eat. As I walked forward, I saw more girls lined up along the road. Some alone, some in groups of 2, 3, 4, some tall, dark, others not so tall, light-skinned. At first glance, they all looked the same. Very high heels and very, very exposing outfits. Transparent tops, extremely short skirts. And I even saw a girl in just her underwear, but I think she was changing though. Cars drove by, some pressed their horns and drove off. Others stopped, chatted with the girls for a while, and then slowly drove off. While some stopped and the girls just almost instinctively jumped into the car. This is a crazy, crazy world.
You don't look where you go.
Please, I'm so sorry. Please don't be annoyed. Caught up in my thoughts, I hadn't been paying attention to where I was going. And I had barged into one of the girls who stood displaying her wares for prospective customers. She was one of the artificially light-skinned ones. Medium height, plus size, very heavily made up, especially the red lipstick, and quite loosely dressed. As I tried to apologize, a similar but fatter girl came out of nowhere, laughing.
Why is just a shot like that now?
Why no go shot? No, tell me why no go shot? Since you take body knock me, take body touch all my goody. They're crazy.
She said as she adjusted her very transparent bra, wiggling her large breast in the process.
But not be so then they do.
Then she moved closer to me.
Fine boy. You want fuck? You want me to show you a good time?
She said with the most ridiculously forced American accent I had ever heard. I stood there almost too surprised to talk. Before I could force words out of my mouth, the fat one pulled out her breasts and hauled them right before my face. Yes, I said pulled. They were long and huge with stretch marks that ran all the way from her neck to the top of each nipple.
I'm gonna show you a good time.
She said as she jiggled and wiggled her breasts in my face.
Come now.
I snapped out of my self-imposed trance, turned the corner around them, and made for it, half running and not looking back. A few buildings ahead, I came across a couple of Mallams with what looked like mobile food stands set up in wheelbarrows. Oh, finally. I quickly walked towards them expecting to see things like biscuits, maybe even gala. To my surprise, the first Mallam had various brands of condoms displayed on his wheelbarrow. My God, I never knew they made so many of those things. So I quickly turned to look at the second Mallam, and he also had packs of condoms displayed, along with some funny-looking bottles with images of naked men and women on them. Definitely not condoms. They look more like drugs, most of them with funny names. Energy 2000, Adam's Desire, Nakam, or more. I couldn't hide the disappointment on my face. Neither could I hide my hunger any longer. But before I could turn away, one of the Mallam asked,
Oga, which one are you want buy?
Aboki, I beg na food I define.
Kai Oga, that one go hard for this time, wallahi. Why you no go for that place you go by?
He said, pointing at why not. Why not? I know if you get like gala or coke.
How mana? Why you no talk that one before? Which kind coke I want?
Plastic or bottle, anyone, and 2 gala, I beg. The Mallam disappeared almost immediately, and I was too hungry to check which direction he went. I looked up to see a few girls casually strolling on the other side of the road. I recognized one of them, Miss Pepeye. Her jacket was off again, and security lights from the nearby building showed her in her not-so-glory. Just then, a car pulled up beside them, and I watched as not-so-glorious Miss Pepeye more or less ran ahead of the other girls towards the car. My attention was then immediately drawn back to the Mallam who had returned. A man had just run to him, breathing heavily. He waved the 500 naira note at the Mallam and literally yelled,
Aboki, give me one fantasy. Give me one fantasy.
It was at that point I noticed the man was a security guard. His uniform had the logo of a large and popular insurance firm embroidered on it, and he kept looking back towards a building, which I later realized was the head office of the insurance firm.
Hey God, Aboki, I say give me one fantasy now.
The Mallam reached to pick one of the packs of condoms on his stand, and then stopped.
Who send them for you come buy and fantasy?
Hey God, who be this guy? I say I won't buy something. They ask me who send me.
Oga, I beg no begs. But I know why they ask.
He said as he turned to look behind him again.
Oh, okay, now princess. Shade on here now. Oh yeah, give me a beg, sharply.
Kai Shege. You see what I ask? Princess, I know they use them for fantasy, wallahi. Now rope rider princess they use. Take them.
Aboki, hope say you sure. If I need waka come back here and my tenants go start another round where no counts last song, hey, now die yo.
The Mallam quickly gave him the Rough Rider and he bolted off. Then turned to me with a bottle of Fanta, saying,
Oga, wallahi, na only this coke remain. Shall I go manage them?
Fanta isn't coke, but I couldn't bring myself to argue. I collected it just as the security man kept running towards his building. I paid the Mallam, crossed over to the other side of the road, and jogged all the way back to my car. Slammed the door shut, wound down a bit, and settled to my breakfast, lunch, and dinner, all wrapped in 2 delicious packs of beef sausages. The ones from earlier don't count. I hadn't even taken the second bite from my first gala when I heard a noise towards the back of the passenger side of the car. Before I could turn around to see what was happening, 2 people were lying on the backseat of my car, man and woman. The woman, who was on top, I quickly recognized as Kassy, but this time, her top was almost off. The man was Oyibo, but I couldn't really make out his face as her plump body covered him. She unzipped his trouser and then looked up at me. I made to leave the car, but she used her right hand to hold me down by my shoulder, while she somehow managed to use her left hand to dig into the man's trouser and produce his privates. She then smiled at me, while still holding my shoulder, and then bent her head towards the man's private area. I immediately turned my head forward towards my dashboard and fought to swallow the bit of gala I had been chewing. For the first excruciating 30 seconds, this man made all kinds of noises before climaxing into one loud final groan. This was followed by sounds of someone spitting. I couldn't take it. I turned around and saw Kassy spitting on the floor of the backseat area. Jesus, I didn't even want to imagine what cleaning that would take. While trying to control my anger, I flung the half-eaten gala on my dashboard and heard as they both exited the car. They both leaned on the car and got talking. I could see Oga Oyibo now. He was Middle Eastern, Arabian. All I could hear were giggles and bad English. And then...
but how much?
Same price, just one.
Me customer, Kassy, Cassandra.
That's why it's still one now. Others won't get it that cheapo.
Na because say na you.
I listened on in absolute shock, even as I heard the Arab man speaking more pidgin English. He then pulled out his wallet and produced some crisp notes. Dollars. He handed them to Kassy.
Okay, I add something extra for you to take care of my baby.
He said as he tapped her breast. Ugh. Kassy giggled some more as he walked away. She then got in the front passenger seat, looked at me with a broad smile on her face, and said,
A to the Z. Fine boy, so bad. Let's go home.
I checked the clock on my dashboard. 3:35 a.m. Gracious. I turned to her and asked, how about the others?
They'll meet us later.
She said, beaming with a smile as she proceeded to rub the back of my head with her left hand. Again.
A-Zed. A-Zed. Fine boy.